Hello and welcome to Nice and Blunt. My name is Adam Riancha. Today is April 4th. We got a little 4-4 action, 1:20 p.m. That means on the East Coast it is 4:20. So it's a perfect time. We're just in the wrong time zone. It's 4:20 somewhere, and at least at the moment, it's not on the West Coast. But let's hop in. We're gonna do only one underdog draft today. Don't have enough time for two, but at least one. I promised you last night, and we will do it. We are here for it. Let us begin. There we go. There we go. We got Pepper Tony in the house. Appreciate you keeping this streak alive. Fimpst again. It means a lot to me, man. I really appreciate you always hopping in here ahead of time. We were only launching this like 5 minutes before go time, so really appreciate that you showing up once again. Scott in here again, y'all. You two are real ones. I really appreciate y'all. But it's always 4:20 somewhere, and at least for Jamie, it's 4:20 his time. So you know what? Let's spark up one more time. Let's go full. Since we're only doing one draft, let's spark up one more time. There we go. We got it in. And a reminder, new customers, promo code BLUNT down in the description. The link will take you to the sign up page. Enter promo code BLUNT for new customers. You play your first 5, you get $50 in bonus funds. Terms apply. That's it for the promo. We're done with that. Let's get the music in. Let's get rolling. There we go. Negative 30 decibels is our appropriate streaming volume. And then just to prevent yet another fucking rug pull, it's just part of the routine at this point. I got to pull up Underdog on my phone. You'd think I'd already have it pulled up, but I'm not as coordinated as you might think. Just a few seconds, but we're hopping into a big board today. Last night we offered a poll and y'all requested I do my final little board. So little board is no longer an option. I don't have any more $3 drafts left to go, and it's just big boards for most of the time. I might do another war room on the stream, but closer to when the contest is full. And then maybe, just maybe, we will do a bigger board on the stream as well, but that's going to be close to the end of the contest. I'm only doing one bigger board if I'm doing one at all. So I hope you're ready. If you would like to join me, I have no time to waste, and let me just have it backed up on the phone just in case. So all right, I'm ready to go. If you're ready to join, we're hopping in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. And we did not pull the location error. Perfect. Doesn't happen too often, but we're in a good spot today. And you know what? I actually don't have any water. I'm going to be right back in like 30, 40 seconds. I'm going to fill this up with water. I promise you, I'll be right back. Told you. And we're back before this lobby is full. We're still waiting on 5, but A Sandy is in here. Yiggity yo, what's happening? That is quite an elite screenshot of PPR Tyler. But all right, we got 5 spots left. Hope y'all are enjoying your Saturday. We have a lovely afternoon upon us. Good weekend vibes. Ready to have some fun. I will be back tomorrow, but for a late night stream. Got plans tonight and tomorrow morning. Should be home in the evening, and we should do another stream. We'll definitely do at least 2 drafts tomorrow, but only 1 today. We don't have a ton of time, and this lobby is filling rather fast. Only 1 spot left. Only 1. But am I doing a big Easter dinner tomorrow? I should. Yeah. Can't say I have massive plans for dinner, more so the morning, but I'm definitely gonna treat myself. That's 100%. But we pull the 112, so maybe my luck is turning. I think I've mentioned it to you many times. I've pulled the 108 a ton of times. We have a Sandy here at the 107. We got Flacco FF. We just signed a contract. I guess it's not the Joe Flacco, but M Stockton got the other bookend. He's at the 101. M Stockton right there at 101. A Sandy in at the 107. And then otherwise, not quite sure. Maybe Brad. I might recognize Brad. But at this point in time, if you're not in the chat with me, sometimes it's hard to remember. But maybe Riot as well. I'm not sure. I'm not gonna project. If you want to let me know that you're in this with me, let me know in the chat. Happy to know, but it's ultimately doesn't change much. There's really, the only thing it changes is maybe I'll review your team at the end. I'm trying to limit that. I feel like I've gone a little overboard on some of the other team reviews. At times, I just want to know personally. Like when I did the War Room, I literally looked at the entire board just to see how I felt about it. But in general, I think I need to be scaling back some of the team reviews, and that's going to shorten some of the times I spend on these live streams, but it's also maybe going to increase the rate of drafts that I might be able to do if it's the same amount of time. Like sometimes I'll do a 2.5 hour stream and I only get like 2 drafts in. I see other streamers that do like a 2 draft stream and their video is like an hour 50. Like I find a way to waste time talking about other stuff, but I don't think it's wasted time. I think I'm just having a good time. I think I'm just enjoying myself and trying to gather as much information. Like at this point of the year, like I don't even have my rankings like set in stone. I think there's so many things moving and like a lot of different things to account for. Oh wow, Walker goes there. I think I'll go James Cook and Genty. I don't think y'all see me draft them a ton, but my rankings have it that way. And at least Genty, I know I don't have a shit ton of, so I've been trying to get more of him. And then the combo with James Cook, he's the Bills running back. I don't see a problem with James Cook. I know some people are a little uncomfortable with his price, but it feels like in the tier of running back. Wow, Rashi at 16. That's interesting. I mean, again, there's always the factor of, will this player make it back to you? Odds are no, but I don't think it's wise. Maybe in the War Room do it, because that contest hasn't been open for very long. But in general, there's teams that get Rashi at pick 40 in the 9 slot that have him paired up with CeeDee Lamb. So that is not something I would do. Y'all saw me take him yesterday in the little board at pick 26. I was just trying to get different. I don't have really any Rashi Rice, let alone a Rashi and Gibbs team. So that's different, but Rashi typically goes on the right side of the board. To pair him with Lamb at pick 16, I think is just unnecessary. Maybe you just really want him that bad, but I think that was a little overkill. Not gonna lie. But Rich is in here at the 4. I did recognize Riot 3085. I think we've drafted a bunch last year, maybe last summer, but I don't think I've maybe drafted with you much so far this preseason. That's kind of what I'm calling it. It's the preseason for drafting. But Sandy has 19% Rashi with it being all late 3rd or 4th value. Let's go. Good for you. I can't say I'm in that boat. Player I was just mostly fading and willing to take a bit of an L on. Like if Rashi's really indeed the player I needed this whole time and I don't have him on the winning roster, like so be it. But I still think I can advance without him. I still think You could win your typical redraft league without him. If you want to keep him off your board just because there's guys you don't want to root for, Rashi easily being one of them, then like go ahead. I also have the Chiefs hatred factor, so there's that. In general, I'm not trying to put many Chiefs on my redraft team. If I do, it's going to be their running back, and the only time I've done that in recent history was 2 years ago when I had Gibbs and Pacheco in like the first and the third round, and then Pacheco went down that year. It was rough. That was bad. But Allen not going to make it back to me with James Cook. He goes to the team at the 108. Solid price on Allen. I think after pick 30, Allen should be coming off the board. No doubt about it. There's just not more than 30 players I think are better than Josh Allen. But my ranks say T. Higgins here. We'll see what Flacco does. Or maybe it's... Oh, no, it's Flack Off. Flack Off is the name. T. Higgins does make it back. That's definitely my preferred wide receiver click. And then in this range... We did take Travion here yesterday, and I didn't hate it at all. To get a little different, Travion usually goes on the opposite end of the board. Don't hate it, but not going to do it. Instead, I think I'm just going to take who I think is really the most valuable wide receiver going in the fourth round, and it's Egbuka. I think Egbuka is the man in the fourth that should be going in the third. Like, I think Egbuka could be argued for ahead of Ted McMillan. I'd rather have the Bucks wide receiver 1 than the Panthers wide receiver 1. Maybe you can point that higher draft capital, Tet being a better prospect, and maybe less target competition in Carolina is one reason to believe in him more. But I think if both stay fully healthy, both are in, regular circumstances, straight up, I'd rather have Baker's wide receiver 1 as opposed to Bryce Young's wide receiver 1. So I prefer Egbuka as opposed to Tet. And I think anywhere in the fourth, he is the best receiver click left on the board. Now that Rashi doesn't have the same risk factors, I'm not willing to say you should be taking Egbuka over Rashi Rice. You could maybe still take Egbuka over Garrett Wilson, maybe even T. Higgins as well. And then if A.J. Brown stays in Philly, I might want Egbuka over A.J. Brown in that scenario. I want A.J. Brown this year, but at least I'm expecting he's on a different team. I think Egbuka could be going in the Drake London, Nico Collins tier and not be a bad selection. I think his true ceiling is up there. If you were playing daily fantasy last year and you were drafting in these daily lineups on Underdog, there was a time by like week 5 through like week 8, Egbuka being drafted in the top 12 picks was not uncommon. He was very often a first or second rounder in some of those like Sunday DFS drafts in the 6-person league. So Egbuka can finish in the top 5 at the position. We've seen the Bucks passing game just be super valuable, and Evans is gone. Godwin is old. Godwin, he's not so old that he's not a factor, but he still had a gruesome injury. He's a year removed from it, but I'm not convinced that Godwin is where they want to send the most targets. From a organizational standpoint, they drafted Egbuka in round 1 for a reason, and with Evans leaving, he is going to be their main guy. Baker loves him, and that's an offense I would like a piece of. So I am fully on board with Egbuka over Bucky Irving, and I think Egbuka over every single receiver in the 4th round makes sense. In my opinion, it's the right click. So T. Higgins, Egbuka, we've got some good offensive weapons, and we're about to be back on the clock. Daniels goes. So if I want elite QB, the answer is Joe Burrow. But I think I'm going to try and set up a potential Packers stack. There's no guarantee it happens. I'm letting y'all know if you're drafting with me. Watson, 100% with the intention of trying to go with Jordan Love. I've taken a lot of Baker, in that round, that 9-10 turn. There's a few super valuable quarterbacks. I think that's kind of last call on like the comfortable quarterbacks that you know will pay off being drafted top 20 at the position. But Jordan Love is definitely one of them. And I have a lot less of him than Baker. So maybe I'll get the Baker stack with Igbuka. I probably am not going to try to pass that up. But right now I got the T. Higgins, Joe Burrow stack. Got to get it in at quarterback. There's usually a run that's about to happen. The Daniels team also takes Hurts. So an anchor receiver build, kind of a, maybe not quite a hit him with the gritty type of approach, but definitely in a similar vein, maybe a safer approach to it. But Amon-Ra, Saquon, Breece, and Kyron. Left Kyron in the 4th, but from a player take standpoint, I would not be trying to get Breece and Saquon and just be super committed to them. I'm not on board with Breece at all. Saquon, I think is fine, but I have a lot more eggs in the Tank Bigsby basket. I'll probably come around to him after the draft, see what they do. But I don't know. The Breece Hall pick is really the only one that's like, don't love it. Don't love it. Breece, I think you could argue in the same range as Quinshon Judkins. I'm not convinced Quinshon Judkins is a worse pick than Breece Hall. One of them goes almost 20 selections higher, though. Breece at 34. I've seen Judkins at 59, 60. I've seen Judkins fall into the 6th. If you're going to give me the Jets RB1 or the Browns RB1, I'll rather have Judkins, the Browns running back 1. But at least with Breece, you can kind of talk yourself into maybe at the trade deadline, they do get rid of him. Maybe they are going to move on from Breece at the deadline. Because you know they're not going to give him another franchise tag probably. I mean, maybe they would do that, but it's hard to envision they're giving him a long-term deal. If they can get an asset for Breece Hall, maybe like a 3rd-round pick, after they give it a go and it's like clearly not working, you know, once they're like 1-7 and the trade deadline is the next Wednesday, maybe Breece is on the move. But that team goes double tight end with Warren and Fannin, so that's worth noting. That position might dry up soon. Ooh, interesting. Parker Washington falls all the way back. At this discount, I will take Parker Washington for sure. For sure. The running back I wanted the most is off the board. Rico already sniped. Rico went pick 70. Interesting. To pick 3. Team 3 in round 6. It's between T-Law and Tucker Kraft, but I'm more interested in getting that Packers stack I mentioned. And at the moment, we have 2 Green Bay Packers with like multiple touchdown upside. So that's definitely what we're setting up. We could have gone T-Law. He's not going to make it back, but a weird lobby. Taking Myers over Parker Washington is notable. Myers, I think, is legit in the 8th, but I'd much rather have Parker in the 7th. So I'll take the discount. Wasn't expecting him there, but I do think this round 6 through 8 receiving tier is very flat in terms of like overall point totals. Like on the season, I think this is the range of player that's going to finish with like a little bit over 1,000 yards, just to get the metric, just to get the, you know, the button in their cap, whatever you want to call it, the notch on the belt. When you look back in the history books, did this player hit 1,000 yards this season? Yes or no? These are the names I think will be in that conversation. But the variance between them is all going to be touchdown dependent. One of them might go for 1,250 yards as opposed to 1,050 yards. That could be a difference as well. But in reality, I'm just trying to have like a heat-seeking radar for the highest touchdown upside, because the yardage in this section is really, really not that big of a deal. So the Jacksonville offense is one I want to bet on. Definitely going to score more touchdowns than the average team by the end of this season. And at the moment, Parker Washington might have the best chemistry with his quarterback on the team. I'm still team Brian Thomas. BTJ went pick 59. That team passed on Parker Washington for Mahomes of all players. So they did not want the double stack, even though it was like right for the taking. Whatever. But Jaden Reed goes. That would have been nice. If Jaden Reed could have somehow fell to 108, this team would have been fucking elite. Imagine if I got Jaden Reed at 108. 108, Jordan Love at 109. But the team at 5 could have used some receiver depth. I think that's a very, very good click. Ricky Pearsall goes at 103 in this one to Sandy. Sandy in this draft. Good value on Ricky Pearsall. Pretty interesting to see him fall all the way that far. But coming back on the clock here, we are going to get the Jordan Love combo. But then there's another part of me that kind of wants to go Kenneth Gainwell, Baker Mayfield. I could totally take Pollard here and justify it, but we're going to get a little bit greedy. And now, let me know in the chat. Who do you want here? Baker or Jordan Love? Looks like Bukowski wants Bake Show. Let's do it. Let's do it. At the end of the day, my rankings still have Baker over Jordan Love. But double stack regardless. This one has Gainwell and Igbuka. We would have had Jordan Love with Watson and Tucker Kraft on the other side. But almost took Parker. Did decide couldn't pass up on May past ADP. I think taking Drake May there over Parker Washington, very legit. But the 4 picks behind you, I think were pretty interesting, pretty incorrect. Just Washington over Myers, I think, is incorrect. And then structurally, not sure if Mr. October taking Warren and Fannin was the best choice. And then Warren over Parker Washington, I think, is also incorrect. The Mahomes click, maybe just because he has Walker, it's fine. But that one I don't really understand too much. I wasn't going to take him. But Team 11, Flackoff, also took Kyle Pitts, so double elite tight end, I suppose. That's the second team with it. And that makes my Tucker Kraft selection feel way, way better. Like, among the teams that have taken a really good tight end so far, because there's only a few that I think are really, like, capable of finishing top 3 at the position. Kraft is one of them. Laporta is another one. And I guess Superfly Guy 19 maybe got the best value at tight end. But I'm pretty happy with my value on Kraft there at 85. He was not going to make it back. Laporta didn't even make it back. And it did give me that other stacking option. The team with Reed doesn't get him. Instead, Sandy takes Jordan Love with Josh Jacobs. That's not a super valuable stack, but it's fairly relevant. But is May just the next Josh Allen? This last year, he didn't run enough for me to be compelled to say yes. I think he can maintain top 5 production, but I also think last year could have been a flash in the pan that was hard to replicate because it was so matchup dependent. Like, I think the schedule is what put Drake May in like elite company last year in terms of fantasy production. I think he's clearly top 10, but the gap between quarterback 4 and quarterback 12 is not very much. From a points per game standpoint, it's really, really negligible sometimes. And I'm not totally convinced. Am I going to get Tyler Shuck here? No, he already went off. For some reason, I didn't see him. Gonna fix the mistake from yesterday. We're gonna go with Chris Rodriguez, another Jacksonville investment. Yesterday, I think I really fucked up not taking Chris Rodriguez on a team. But then here, I think we're going to go for just like true upside. Nah. I think I just need receiver. I think I ignored receiver a little bit too much. That Gainwell Rodriguez running back duo there, maybe a bit of a luxury decision. Brooks goes 135 in this. That's notable.
Nice and blunt.
But to start off with our first receiver at pick 36, we did have 4 by pick 84. But I did go 4 straight rounds with that one. So I think among the names left on the board, the safest and highest upside, most valuable option there, I think, is Rashid Shaheed. And I'm going to take him because I don't feel confident that the receivers coming back around are going to be pretty good. But Bukowski says May is the next Steve Young. I could see that. Sandy says I got Kraft at 103 earlier today. I got Fannin at 103 a few days ago. And then I have seen like Laporta at like 117 once. Laporta gets slept on sometimes. But I feel like Jennings is going to Green Bay. They never bring in free agents, especially receiver. That's a bold stance to take. The Packers bringing in a free agent wide receiver. That never happens. They like only draft people and just keep them in the building. Historically, you know, until they're willing to move on. Like they just moved off of Romeo Dobbs, but they also just drafted Matthew Golden. They moved on from Randall Cobb eventually. But in general, there's not that many of them that move on. Like Adams, I guess, moved on, but they replaced him with more rookies. The Packers, I'm not going to lie, have not been on my radar for free agent landing spots. But Kincaid, 137, Goddard, 144, Kelsey at 146 in this one. That's interesting. And then likely at 150, Andrews at 151. So the lobby is still really devaluing the tight end position. And dang. I think Diggs is the best receiver on the board. We mentioned Debo's pretty interesting. But I think Diggs is... Last year, I think, showcased a little bit more in the tank and just generally a little less injury prone. But I think I'll go Brenton Strange. Just another Jags commitment. But I'm not convinced he's, like, clearly the best pick. The thing I like about Brenton Strange, when he does hit your lineup, he's usually used a lot in the red zone. He's usually getting a lot of red zone targets. Didn't score that many touchdowns last year, but a lot of looks in the red zone. I believe there was also a couple plays where he did catch one that was like negated by a penalty. I remember specifically one week, I had a pick'em line that involved a Strange touchdown. And I was watching it. He caught it. And I was like, yes! There's a flag on the play. Jacoby Myers was offsides. Didn't line up correctly. So they reran the play, and guess who got the touchdown on the next play? Jacoby Myers. Like, why the fuck would you reward the guy that just got the penalty that shaved it off the board for the tight end? Like, fuck you, Jacoby Myers. I was so livid. Obviously, Strange did not score another touchdown later in the game. It was like the week after Thanksgiving, I think it happened. Maybe a week after. That would have been like week 14 or something. Yeah, fucking annoying. Very annoying. But until he got hurt, yeah, he was very, very capable until he got hurt. That's where I think they maybe really should trade Brian Thomas Jr. Like, the Jags have a bevy of weapons. Like, if there's one position you'd like to have a lot of depth at, it's probably receiver and like just pass catcher in general. Strange is really strong in that category. And while there are a lot of other mouths to feed there, it's pretty crowded in Jacksonville. I think when he does hit the lineup, it's going to very much be linked to a touchdown. And he's also capable of giving you like 7 targets per game. Like, he's also very legitimate in that regard. So I like that we're getting Strange and Parker Washington on this squad. Maybe I should have taken Lawrence instead of Kraft. Maybe, just maybe. But we had 2 really good stacking options later. Didn't expect or ever really plan to have a bit of a Jag stack going on. So it is what it is. Not the end of the world. But in general, just the Jags offense is one I would like to keep chipping away pieces from. I think you're in good shape with multiple Jaguars in your team, even unstacked. But M. Stockton says, Jennings going to Atlanta or Tennessee? The Titans are also a little crowded. They have cap space, so I could see it maybe, but I think Jennings would rather get the ball, and I think going to Atlanta, if they're willing to pay him a little bit, would make a little bit more sense, if you ask me. But Christian Kirk is still on the board here, so I'm going to take Christian Kirk for sure. I think by far the best click in this range. I could see Trey Harris break out. Booty's not unvaluable, but I think Christian Kirk is in a better system, better spot to be, and I think for the price, it's worth fading the health guarantees of Evans and Pearsall. But I'm going to go Brian Robinson over Tank Bigsby. I have less Brian Robinson. At the moment, I think he's maybe a little bit more likely to get touches just outright while the starter is healthy. Saquon, I still think, is going to have a bit of a stranglehold on the snap share, where Bijan should have a stranglehold on the snap share, but the way the Falcons are structured on offense, like, there's a reason why Algier was so involved last year. They don't have that many weapons. They don't have a lot of good pass catchers. They have London, they have Pitts, and then they got rid of Mooney, and they brought in like Jahan Dotson and Olamide Zaccheaus. Like, I don't think that's a roster that compels me to think the team is going to go more pass heavy as opposed to run heavy. I think Brian Robinson is capable of contributing in terms of production. And then we just have one of the most elite handcuffs. Kevin Stefanski's handcuff is going to be great. So I'll take Brian Robinson over Tank Bigsby these days. But part of that is because Bigsby I already have at like 35% on all my rosters. So Brian Robinson, he's moving up to like 20%. And I think I'll be okay. But how long have we been live streaming? Okay. I told y'all I was only going to do one. But this one has gone much faster than I expected, in all honesty. And then we are at the bookend here where I don't have to wait for any of the picks behind me. If we can get up to 30 likes before this draft is over, I'll fire a second one. If we hit 30 likes, I'll do a second one because I actually have the time. I don't have time to do team reviews, but if we hit 30 likes, I'll do a second one. That might be asking a lot. Right now we're sitting at 12 likes. 37 of y'all are watching. So if you would like to see that happen, I will only do a second draft if we hit 30 likes, but I'm not playing. I will log off if we don't have 30 likes. But this one went fast. Just fast enough where I could squeeze it in. But right now, we're up at 16 likes. So hit the like button if you're interested. If not, we'll just recap this team and head on out. Tua this late is valuable. I don't feel the need to force a third quarterback, but I think the points are solid. I will go Jeremy Bernard first, though. And then what am I giving up at running back? Nothing. Nothing at all. Tight end. Nah. I'll take Tua. Just a more likely chance to advance.
Nice and blunt.
I'll take Tua. I think he's the more valuable one in Atlanta. But yo, what's up, PPR Tyler? How you doing, man? Appreciate you hopping in here. Yeah, let him know. We are 11 likes away from a second draft. 30 likes for draft number 2. If not, I'll be heading out of here. But thank you for joining me. Are you going live today, Tyler? Apologies if I missed it. I know you've been drafting earlier in the day, but typically your time is later. If you are, let them know when you'll be live. And in general, subscribe to PPR Tyler. Got a great channel. Really awesome. Toxic Tower as well. 7:30 p.m. Central Time tonight. So that's, what would that be? 2.5 hours from now? I believe 2.5 hours from now, if my math is correct. Yeah. Give him a subscription. Definitely deserves it. And hopefully we can have PPR Tyler on the channel sometime soon. That would be awesome. But Cash Ear says Super Fly Guys team is elite. He is on the clock. Maybe we take a look at Super Fly Guys team right after he makes this pick. Goes Horton. I like that. Has the Rogers Fryermuth stack. That's not bad. Start off JSN and Hampton at 19. Love that. Olave, Ladd, McConkey. Super, super nice. Montgomery in the 5th. Very legit click. Pierce and Metcalf. Not bad, especially with the Metcalf Rogers stack. That's looking great. Got Herbert at 91. That's really dope. Laporta at 102. Very nice, especially in this lobby with how tight end went. And then Pollard 115. That's super good. Darnold with this stack. JCM not in love with, but at that range, not many other directions I would have preferred. So totally fine. There's a few. I might have gotten Keaton Mitchell, given the massive Chargers investment, but he does have Hampton already, so I get it. And he almost got Mitchell to come back, but gets Likely. I almost took Likely where I took Shaheed, so really nice. The Ridley click is okay. Probably worth it, but just okay. And then Pacheco's legit. We mentioned we like the final 3 picks. Super Fly Guy is in a very good spot. Love his team, actually. Super, super nice. And I don't think I have a JSN Hampton combo myself. I might not even have that myself. Out of the 6 slot, I would agree. Super Fly Guy has a very, very nice set of players. If you rip a second draft, I'll come on right now. I mean, the only problem is I'm on OBS. When I do it solo, I don't have StreamYard. So that's my only problem. I can't share my screen with you. I would love to plan it. I will be in touch with you, man. Yes, I would love to do that, but at the moment, it's just logistically not the case. But I would love to plan it, my man. That would be great. Yeah, I mean, if anything, this is more of an homage and a paying respect, letting Tyler know that he's only half the man of Tyler. Let's see. We're coming up on the likes. 30 likes, and we'll do a second draft. If you're on the phone, you hit the X out of the chat, you hit the like button, you open the chat right back up. Ferguson made it back. Sweet. I think he's much better than Gesicki. So I almost grabbed him on the last one. I think I'll take him here. And then I need running back. Katron makes it this far. I think Katron's the most talented running back left on the board. So I'll do that. We get the rookie mystery box. I'll do that. But Burrow, Baker, Tua, fairly legit quarterback room with the elite guy, capable of being elite, backup, and then just the
Nice and
Advance rate piece at 205, 2 past ADP. Pretty legit. Running back James Cook, Ashton Genty. We're in excellent shape. We have the Kenneth Gainwell stack with Baker. Let's have Rodriguez, another Jaguar. Brian Robinson in Atlanta does pair up with Tua for whatever that's worth. It's not much, but it's something. And then Katron Allen at a very nice discount pick, 229, final round. With T. Higgins, Egbuka. We have Christian Watson. We almost set up a Jordan Love stack, but Parker Washington, Rashid Shaheed, Stephon Diggs, Christian Kirk, Jeremy Bernard. Receiver room is legit. I think we're in very good shape, honestly, especially if Diggs just signs anywhere. He's going to be going much higher than 156. I think Diggs is an awesome click, awesome value. And then tight end room has Tucker Kraft, Brenton Strange, and Terrence Ferguson. So no stacks at tight end. It was a weird room. There was the team with Warren and Fannin that kind of forced the issue, but people kind of refused to pay up big prices in general. Like, if anything, my click on Kraft and then the Pitts click were like maybe the biggest close to ADP prices in regards to like really talented tight ends. But Laporte at 102, that's kind of where he just goes now, and I think it's crazy. I feel like he should be going much higher. But Goddard went past ADP, so did Kincaid. Really, this round 12-13 area was like the sweet spot for tight end, but there was still a lot of them left in rounds 14. Yeah, these 3 rounds, I think this draft can really show you the value of like waiting on the position. Waiting until rounds 13 and 14, or just taking Goddard in the 12th. That's really the only one I think is like totally worth it. But all of these names in this range, from Goddard through Okonkwo, and you can kind of throw in Barner in there. I think Barner is also kind of being slept on a little bit, but all of those tight ends, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of them. And if you want to include Kincaid and Sadiq, that's a ton of them. So this is the range. This is the sweet spot, in my opinion, for tight end values 12, 13, and 14. Those 3 rounds are where the magic happens. So if you can take one of them in this range, I think you're getting an awesome value. If you want to take one of the truly elite options, then grab someone like I did, like Kraft. I do like Loveland. In this one, he goes round 3, but then McBride and Bowers in round 2 structurally is a little bit gross. I prefer the value on Kraft or Laporta, or if Pitts makes it to the 9th round, he's also great. Fannin, I have gotten in the 9th round once, but in general, round 8, that's pretty decent. So round 8 and then rounds 13, 14, I think are the best ranges for tight ends. And then we got Ferguson around 19. He's very legit. I think he's the most valuable of the Rams tight ends. So that's my team. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'll just take a look at Sandy's team because this roster's pretty good. We have CMC, Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs, Flowers, Rome, and DeAndre Swift. And then Drake, May, Addison, and Pearsall with Jordan Love unstacked, but does have Jacobs, right? So running back is really good. Wide receiver, I think, works out well. The price on Pearsall there is awesome. He took McMillan, didn't let me get him at 132, but a very good pick. And then Jawan Jennings grabbed 4 tight ends: Andrews, Henry, Schultz, and Taylor. Jordan James, Surratt, Cousins, and Jacoby Lane. Very legit. Very legit. But all right. I believe other than that, there's only Riot in here, who has Puka, Neighbors, and AJ Brown, Javonte, Quinshon, Chuba, Dart, Sutton, Stafford, Jaden Higgins, Rashad White, Goddard, Stroud, Juwan Johnson. So he waited on tight end, got really good values. Even Hawkinson as the 3rd is really nice. A.D. Mitchell, Kamani Vidal, Hollywood Brown, Justice Hill, and DJ Giddens. All right. Very legit team with a supremely talented wide receiver core up top. So pretty awesome. I hope the Quinshon Chuba situation does indeed pay off, because sometimes there's guys going well behind him that I think could be better. But Rico went off early, didn't have a chance for Rico. And then it did dry up. So very legit clicks. Sutton at 93. That's not bad. That's a fair legit price. That one feels good. Sutton at 93. But looks like we only have indeed, yes. I think we will, man. I think we will. I would like to see it happen. I'll be in touch with you for sure. Would love to see that. But we did not hit 30 likes, so I'm going to stick to my word. I do have some other stuff to get going, so it's just going to be one draft today. I will see y'all tomorrow on Sunday, and appreciate y'all for hanging out. Sandy was drafting here with us, had a very legit team, and then thank you, Cashier, for trying to get it up there, but I guess the people said no. But all right, thank you, everyone. Peace out. Enjoy your weekend. I'll see you next time.